welcome to your week ahead reading. I am pulling some cards this week to see what the theme of the week is. And for this week, we got the Quail and Gooseberry, which speaks to anticipation. Now, I'm going to pull some tarot cards to see what we are anticipating. What is it that we are anticipating? Okay, the Hermit. So there's a little bit of feeling like we're in waiting mode, or, you know, there's a bit of a call to kind of go into our shells this week. And then the Six of Pentacles is asking us to allow ourselves to give and receive in equal measure. Please, just one card, not 10, not 5. Okay, we have the Hierophant as well. So this is talking about... So I know the Hierophant usually speaks to institutions and tradition, but I also like to look at the Hierophant as community, especially because when I think of the Hierophant, I think of the church, and I know the church has its things, has its problems, has its shadows, and I think it's one of the few places that people feel like they can easily find community. And so that's why for me, like, when I see the Hierophant, I do think of community. Now, we also have the 8 of Swords. I do believe that is 8. Yes, there's 8 of them there. Now, this 8 of Swords, to me, talks about, like, a similar vibe as the Hermit, right? Kind of in your chrysalis, maybe even a little bit self-protective. 8 of Swords can be overthinking. So with the theme of anticipation this week, it may feel like this may be a week where you can't really go out for some reason. Like, either you just have a lot to do at home, or you can't really see your friends, and maybe you have plans at the end of the week of like, okay, I can't wait until the weekend to see my friends and to get out and do something with them, because I feel like I've been in hermit mode in my shell all week, or I've been overthinking, or there's a feeling of maybe you've been like, do my friends even remember that I exist? And that's where that 6 of Pentacles comes in, remembering sometimes that communication is a two-way street. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, if they don't text first, they don't care, or you know, sometimes people just, especially people with ADHD, or like myself included, we need to be reminded that things exist if we can't see them in front of us. And unfortunately, this can include people, right? So if someone is not messaging you, or if you feel like you don't know if they remember that you exist, especially like in regards to your community, maybe send a message just curiously and gently, without expectation or the feeling of like, I need to be noticed, and see what happens. Because sometimes they just might be like, oh my gosh, I was so all in my own little world. I'm so glad you reached out. Like, I was thinking about you, but I felt this energy of like, you know, closed offness almost. So I wasn't sure if I should reach out or not. It could be something as simple as that, right? So a little bit on the end of potential for miscommunication this week. Again, nothing is bad or good, just information. All right. And I, as I was pulling some tea leaf cards for this week, dog, far away, a distant friend is thinking of you. So that really, I love it when this happens so much. So that really speaks to what I was saying of like, just because you can't see them or you don't know that they're, whether or not they're actively thinking about you, that there are people who are thinking about you and who love you, even if you don't see it or experience it directly. All right, so the next one is Fox, shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. So this might be talking about like, yeah. So shrewd doesn't always have to mean like cunning, but for me, the resourcefulness word is sticking out most on this card, right? So like I was talking about with the, you know, waiting for other people to make the first move, waiting for your friends to text first, it's speaking to there's a need this week to just be resourceful in general. This can also be talking about if you want to collaborate with someone in business, or you feel like anticipatory, like you're waiting for them to get back to you. Maybe they got distracted. Maybe just send them a little like, hey, it's been a minute. I'm still really excited about doing this. Like, what's going on? And that is being resourceful. I wish I could make this up. I pulled next, bird perched, waiting for news, package, or a letter. And then box, you will receive a gift. This is also for me, but this is for the collective as well. That package that you're waiting on that got delayed in transit is coming. Whether that be literally a package in the mail or a manifestation. It might feel like you've been, and that's what this anticipation energy can be talking about as well this week, of you may have been waiting for a package or a message or a manifestation to be coming in, and it's kind of felt like, where is it? And then like overthinking the like, well, am I manifesting correctly? Am I doing this right? Am I doing it wrong? What's going on? And remembering that when we're manifesting, it is the most helpful thing I've found is to not overthink it and to not focus on, am I doing it right or wrong? But is this like, does this feel helpful to me? And if it doesn't feel helpful, why am I doing it when it doesn't feel helpful? So I was in the middle of pulling some advice and divine order came out, and I like that better than divine timing, because you know, everything has to kind of, it's like a Rube Goldberg machine, right? Where you knock over the domino and then the marble starts rolling, and it's just like a sequence of events, right? Now, divine timing talks about, a lot of people interpret it as this thing can only happen at a certain time, but time isn't real. Time is an internal experience. Divine timing to me talks about things have to happen in a divine order. You need to go through a sequence of events or internal experiences, and you can do it fully internally. But, you know, that's the difference between being like, my manifestation is coming in divine timing, and that divine timing can be a year from now, and my manifestation is coming when I reach this state of being, and this state of being can be here now, or it can be here a year from now or 10 years from now, and that is wholly up to me and how much I allow that state of being to be present in my life. The next advice card we have is air. This is talking about the element of air. This, to me, because swords are air as well, it goes back to thoughts. What is your thought process like? What are you thinking of from moment to moment? Like, just really, really being aware and curious of what your thought process is like. Because when you're, overthinking things and being like, thinking really negatively, it's difficult to be resourceful and find a solution when sometimes it's just as simple as letting go of the story that you're telling yourself in that moment. And please don't give me 20 cards. I only want one more. Okay. And fire. Right. So fire to me talks about our passions, the things that we love to do, our creativity, right? And also air feeds fire. So if we are thinking about things like how things are terrible and how things are bad and our self-limiting beliefs, that feels like it fuels a fire of things that might not be what our soul really wants to create, because fire talks about, the spiritual fire, the passion of our soul. So if we what are we feeding that fire with? What thoughts are we feeding that fire with? And how can we feed that fire with thoughts that feel aligned for us? Now I'm going to pull an animal card to see what animal is kind of like a bit of a synchronicity and protector for us this week. All right, so we have a lizard. The lizard. This is also fire. I think of lizards as mini dragons in the sense that, like, dragons are a kind of lizard, but lizards are maybe a little bit slightly less evolved. So it's really starting to allow yourself to step into your power and into your intuition. And, people speak about reptilian brain and how, that it's for survival, right? So, and they speak about having that reptilian brain as if it's a bad thing, but when we think about it in terms of survival, we can be really grateful towards that quote-unquote lizard brain and be like, oh wow, like this part of my brain is really just helping me survive in this world and get through things, and it's kept me alive. And then remembering that it doesn't have to be the dominant operation system in our brain as well, and learning how to feed that lizard brain things that soothe it, and to know how to take care of yourself so that you can operate in the way that you really want to. So when you see lizards throughout this week, just remember that, you're safe, and that this I'm leaving that in there because that was so silly. But this lizard spirit, this lizard animal is protecting you and looking out for you, and you can remember that you're safe. Now I'm going to pull one of my kitty cat affirmation cards and see what we get here. And we're going to take this one. And this is Effervescence. Meet Galaxy. She is all tingles and shivers of excitement for all the magic she knows is coming her way. Anticipation. An inner smile bubbles into a giggle and she floats up, her paws barely touching the ground. With the lightest of hearts, she makes friends with the stars. Now they are always in her favor, bequeathing her sparkling sips of honeyed anticipation. Anticipation is literally on the card. I didn't even see that until now. She is a fountain of glittering golden optimism, blessing everything around her. Let her buoyancy uplift you. I'm so excited for you this week. Please let me know in the comments down below what happens. What is this thing that came in? What is the excitement and anticipation that you got? How did that come to fruition? Anyways, love you so much. Bye.